Sarah Garcia, and I'm 34 years old, originally from Asheville, North Carolina.
Hey.
I was very happy to relocate to Winston-Salem for my second year of teaching. So I started teaching at West Forsyth High School, and I've been there ever since for about 10 years now.
We met at this place called Speakeasy.
Come on.
Well, I think we met, kebabs. I asked her to dance, and so that's how we met. Salsa dancing. The first date was to the Nutcracker, just because I knew she liked it, and then
I had to give him props for coming up with such a good date for me. I could tell that he was really thinking about what I would like, so I thought I'm gonna have to give this one a chance. My favorite qualities about Esteban are, first of all, his smile. It's just contagious. It's so bright, and it was the first thing that I noticed about him when I walked into the room. Just lights up the room.
I mean, I just love how amazing she is. She's such a wonderful woman, and she's positive. She is funny, and she is very, very patient with me because I am a nutcase.
We got married December 30th, 2006, which was a little bit more than a year after our first date.
Yeah.
And it was 2 days before my birthday, 1 day before New Year's Eve,
Yeah.
week after Christmas. So we have a lot to celebrate in December and January. Milo was born May 6th, 2010, and
it was the most beautiful thing that I've ever experienced, and I just don't think I never knew that you could be so happy at one moment and yet so scared.
he was just an angel from day one. He's just angelic. I can't really, that's all I can say. I couldn't believe I had anything to do with him. I mean, he's just a beautiful creation, and I can't believe we're parents. Like, it's just such a gift. Well, I was 32, and Milo was 2 months old, and felt a lump in my breast. I had a really, really hard time with breastfeeding. It was awful, and I did not feel successful at it at all. And after about day 16, I decided to give it up, and that was probably one of the hardest decisions I've ever made in my life. But I don't think we would have found the lump if I had continued to breastfeed. So I know it was God's providence that I made that decision, and I feel like in a way, like Milo was trying to tell me what was wrong. It's just nothing that you could ever prepare for. So, I mean, I was pretty stunned. I felt like we had just sort of figured out how to be parents and just figured out how to get Milo to sleep, and it seemed like things in our life were starting to get more stable, and it was just a brick wall.
I think I was in shock, and I just didn't know how to take it. Like Sarah said, we were just getting ready, like we were just enjoying it, and were super happy, and then this started.
Over the last 2 years, I've had 4 surgeries, 3.5 months of chemotherapy, 2 months of radiation, and 6 months of an oral chemotherapy. The odds felt like they were in my favor. My mom survived. It's only stage 2. We caught it early, but it just seems like we've progressively found out about more news that we didn't know about before. The disease has progressed to stage 4 at this point, and I just never thought that would happen. I didn't expect it to happen, and now that it's stage 4, it's basically chronic. Once you hit stage 4, it's not considered curable. Once you have chronic cancer, you're gonna just have to be on some sort of treatment for the rest of your life. So you basically stay on a treatment as long as it's working for you, as long as it's either stabilizing your cancer or, best case scenario would be to shrink it, cause it to go into remission, or what's called no evidence of disease. That's the ultimate goal. But even stabilization is a huge success. So people might say, well, how long are you going to be on this medicine? And I don't ever know an answer to that. It's just indefinite. It's as long as it's working. There's always a question mark ahead of us, and there just always will be. So right now, the hope is that I'll be able to get on a clinical trial for a PARP inhibitor, which is kind of the hottest new study drug for people with the BRCA1 genetic mutation, and also for people with triple negative cancer. I never asked for my prognosis as far as years or months or anything like that, and for me it just helps me. I just rather not know. I mean, especially while I'm feeling good and I'm not in the hospital or anything like that. It's hard to know how to tell a 2-year-old his mom has cancer. I think in a way he senses it. I'm just a real routine person, so if I still have my hair and I'm still working full time and life is pretty much status quo, I feel like that gives him a sense of stability. It gives us, at least me, a sense of normalcy, and sometimes I feel like we don't necessarily need to have a big conversation about it until it's really going to disrupt his lifestyle or until there's going to be a big change in our daily routine. So I know he's only 2.5, but I know that he's, very intelligent and receptive, and that he needs to know what's going on.
Yeah.
It's hard to know how to tell him.
I know that he senses something, and because he has been more attached to his mom.
Milo's 2.5 now, and I know that he won't always want to be sitting on mom's lap, so I just try to get as many snuggles as possible. But I just love to watch Milo discover the world and just see the world through his eyes, and just hear him say something off the wall and wonder where he learned that or picked that up, and love to watch him find new interests, whether it's sports or artwork or just, he's just so curious about the world. He's always asking questions, and I guess maybe that's a little bit of the teacher in me too, just wanting to figure out how to explain something so that it makes sense to a 2-year-old. But yeah, I just, the hugs and the smiles and just the play dates, and it's not anything I could have ever imagined. If I had known how fun it was to be a parent, I would have tried to become a parent much sooner, but it's just been a fantastic surprise how fun it is. I am extremely optimistic about this trial. The only thing I'm worried about is that I won't qualify for some reason, but the type of drug is really exciting for people with triple negative cancer and with BRCA1 genetic mutation. I feel like it's the closest thing I have to a magic bullet. So I'm just trying to stay as healthy as I can for as long as I can, because I know that there will be new advances being made all the time.
I agree with Sarah that there's hope, but I feel it's slipping away a little bit. She's an amazing, strong woman, and she just looks at things with the best of intentions. Every single thing, every single scar that she has, like I feel like I wish I would hurt for her. I'm afraid as a person, because I'm afraid that for my son, and I want my son to know his mom, and to have that knowledge of how amazing she is, and it's just, it's hard to just move on and try to be normal every day, because each day I'm afraid that cancer is just taking her from me, and so it is tough.
If I hadn't been diagnosed with cancer, I don't know how much I would be thankful for, each morning. So in some ways it's just been a real mercy for me to be able to have that kind of perspective.
Thou